Hello guys. So in our last video we have seen how the communication is happening using the switch locally between the devices. So today I am going to give some introduction on where we need to use switch, why we need to use switch, and where we need to use router, and why we need to use router, and also what is the concept of VLAN we are using in this CCNA track. So so before getting into that concept, so I want to go for some small examples so that we can easily understand how it is working. So let's consider that some this example is going to be with some school students. Like this is a conference hall. Let's consider, and inside that I'm having so many students of different standards, like first standard, second standard, third standard, are sitting together. And fine, so this is a conference hall. We are having the students of different classes like first standard, second standard, and third standard. They are in the same conference hall, so they can communicate with each other without any restrictions, right? So now what I'm going to do, this is the first standard, second standard, third standard, right? Okay, now I'm going to put these first standard guys in their particular classrooms, second standard guys into the respective classrooms, third standard guys into the respective classrooms. Now these first standard guys only can able to speak with them, they can speak with themselves. Second standard guys can speak with them themselves, and third standard guys can speak with them themselves. But any of these guys from first standard can't able to speak with the second standard or third standard guys. Why? Because they are in different rooms, they can't able to speak sitting in that room, right? So that is what it is. So actually, if I'm sorry, if this first standard guy sitting here, okay, so this many people are sitting inside first standard, so how they can able to communicate with themselves? So that is like they are communicating locally, right? So for that purpose we need a device called switch. So switch is a device which is used to provide the communication locally. So what it is then, for example, if the first standard guy want to speak with the second standard guy, or the third standard guy, so let's consider this as second standard, and here I have few people sitting here. Now these first standard guys and second standard guys want to speak with them each other. So again here if you see, this is second standard guys, they can again communicate themselves using some devices called switch. Switch. Okay, so these two switches will be connected to some devices, it's called a router. So router job is to help in networking to make the communication happen from one network to the different network. Here you can see, like if I'm telling one network in the sense, this is a first standard, this is a second standard. Now first standard guy is going to speak with the second standard guys, so actually they are totally from the different standards. So that is the example here. Actually router job is to provide the communication between the networks. Router job, it is not that like it, he will not do anything to give the communication locally. Actually it is not the device to do so. So if you want to have the communication locally, you should go for switch. And even in last video we have seen something called we have seen how the communication is happening locally between the end devices using the switch. And also I have mentioned that they are in the native VLAN of 1, so all the ports in the switch are grouped together, like not grouped together, all the ports are mapped with the VLAN 1, so they are in the group of VLAN 1. That's what they can able to communicate with each other. Why? Because they are in the same VLAN. That is how here let's consider this VLAN 1, native VLAN of Cisco. Yes, VLAN 1. Okay, so instead of here students, let's consider these are the different number of ports which I have in the switch. For better example, I will draw it here. If this is my switch, I have so many ports which is sitting here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, let's take that 8 ports are there in this switch now. Now these all 8 ports are already uh, something we will study in later chapter called access port, trunk port. Like that, these all these ports are by default in the access mode for VLAN 1. That means you don't have to worry about it. I am going to speak about the topic later. As of now, you just think that these all ports are assigned to the VLAN number 1. So the traffic whatever it is going to or from these ports, it is from or to VLAN number 1. Okay, that is what we have to know. Now what I'm going to do, this one conference hall I have here, apart from that also I have 3 different rooms to make these guys to sit. That is, first standard guys should sit here, second standard guys sit here, third standard guys will sit here, like that. In switch, and it is not like that I'm having the only one VLAN which is called the native VLAN, VLAN 1. Here I can create logically different VLANs. That means if I want to create something called VLAN number 2, I can do that, VLAN number 2. And if I want to do something called VLAN number, if I want to configure something called VLAN number 3, I can do it. If I want to configure something called VLAN number 5, or instead of if it is 10, I can do that. So we can, like this, we can create logically different VLANs. Okay, so here, oh, just a minute, I will yeah, we can scroll down here. Okay, now you can see here, we have different classrooms where different standards of people are sitting inside the classrooms, right? So let's consider this classroom is like VLAN number 2, and the second classroom is like, it is for VLAN number 3, and the third classroom is like, it is called VLAN number, I'm sorry, VLAN number 4. So I will create 3 VLANs, like VLAN number 2, VLAN number 3, VLAN number 4. After that, what I'm going to do, what are the ports, like instead of students, here we are talking about the ports. So what are the ports I need to assign to that particular VLAN, that I will decide. For example, if these are the ports that I want to assign it for VLAN number 2, that I will do it. First I will create the VLAN, then I will assign these 2 ports to the VLAN number 2. And if then, for example, if these 3 ports, if I want to assign to VLAN number 3, first I will create the VLAN number 3. First I will create the VLAN 3. After that I will assign these 3 ports to the VLAN number 3. And for example, these 2 ports I want to assign for VLAN number 4, then what I will do, I will create a VLAN number 4, then I will assign these 2 ports to VLAN number 4. Then what about these ports? He will be in the default mode of VLAN number 1, in the mode of access mode. Correct. So I think this scenario gives us a better understanding what is switch, what is router, and why we need VLANs. So what I'm coming to say, in one switch, that means we are having one VLAN as a native VLAN is called VLAN number one. In the same box, we can able to create multiple VLANs. So when I'm creating multiple VLANs and when I start assigning those VLANs to these switch ports, for example, first these two number of ports they are in the VLAN number 2. So these two ports can communicate each other, but these two ports cannot communicate with this yellow one or the red one. Same thing, like similarly these yellow people, like three ports in the yellow box, they can speak each other. That means this guy can I'm sorry, so first port can speak with second port, and or second port can speak with third port can speak first port, like that they can speak each other. But this yellow group cannot able to speak with the first one brown group or the red group. So similarly, like the red group can communicate with each other, but these people can't communicate with any of these guys, even the native VLAN. Right, I don't want to miss this also. Even red group can't communicate with the native VLAN groups. They can communicate within themselves, but not outside outside of that group. So fine, so if I want to do something so that these people like brown, yellow, red can communicate, what I can do in the sense, I need something called the L3 device. That means the device which understands the IP protocol. That is a different like a language. For example, if there are two people, one know English and one knows some XYZ language, the XYZ language person, whatever he is speaking, the Englishman will not understand, and the Englishman, whatever he is speaking, the person who XYZ language will not understand, right? Like that only VLAN here. So we need some intermediator, so that we can put this intermediator like a mediator between these two peoples who know both the XYZ language and also the English language. So whenever the XYZ language person is speaking something, he will translate that into the English and will convey this message to the English person. So here, like VLAN number 2, VLAN number 3, and VLAN number 4, these are the three people, three different people. They will not understand what it is. So if they want to communicate with each other, we need something called the device which is called the router or layer 3 switch, which supports a IP protocol, which is mainly used for the network communication. So without IP address we can't communicate each other, right? So thanks for watching. We'll see you in next videos. Bye.